She is absolutely happy for me to donate this and send it on. It's leaving my house. I'm gonna start by reading Girls Are Coming Out of the Woods. I think I gave it 2 stars actually. Hello everyone and welcome back to another reading vlog. It's been ages since I last did a reading vlog. My brain has been so frazzled and fried and just consumed with Project Teacup. We're on draft 6. I'm almost finished my adult fantasy novel. I'm almost ready to send it off to my literary agent, but today we are taking a break. We're gonna do some reading. We're gonna have a little bit of a reset day, which is gonna be lovely. And I also am gonna go through my bookshelves and do my first ever unhaul. So that will be an exciting first for this channel. I've never ever done an unhaul before because I'm always so careful with the books I buy. So generally when I buy books, I don't then need to donate them. I just keep them because I don't have an enormous collection. This is one of 3 bookshelves around our apartment. But yes, I wanted to film some reading today. I wanted to head out and go enjoy the autumn leaves while they're here. I live in Australia, Southern Hemisphere. It's autumn at the moment. Let's grab some tea and we can start going through my shelves and having a little bit of a look at the books that I am at last ready to depart with. I'm gonna start by showing you guys the books that I am currently in the middle of reading. The number is very high. I think I'm currently in the middle of something like 8 books at the moment, so I'm gonna show you guys most of those. I'm currently reading The Idiot by Elif Batuman. I'm halfway through the selected poems of Emily Dickinson. I'm currently reading Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh. I thought this was written by a woman for the longest time. It wasn't until I finally turned the book around and I was like, oh, okay. Took me by surprise. These guys, which is my haphazard stack of books over here. Mystery Cults in the Ancient World, Grace Keepers by Kirsty Logan, Wild Sargasso Sea by Jean Reese. I'm also currently reading 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami, and I know there's at least 2 more I'm forgetting. When I'm not DNFing books, that's when my reading is slowing down. So I know that I have to have a really healthy relationship with giving up books, otherwise it's gonna slow my reading. And to be honest with you, there are a small handful of books that I think I'm finally ready to part ways with. So let's move this bad boy. So we've got classics, we love. I don't love this edition of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I don't love the colors of it, but I'm not donating that because that seems like a terrible waste. Dorian Gray. All of this is good. All of this I want to read still. I think this shelf is pretty much good. Actually, we just finished reading Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. It was a 4.5-star book for me. I thought it was brilliant. Really dark, really gritty, lots of content warnings for this book. Really masterfully told dystopian story. I want to read the second one. I want to make sure I do that before the end of this year. Oh, this one. So Chai Time at the Cinnamon Gardens. I have been umming and ahhing as to whether I should donate this book. I'm currently reading it. I've been currently reading it for like 6 months or something. There was a really graphic scene really early on in the book. Like, this is not a cozy book. It looks like a cozy book, but there's some really heavy themes here, which is good and important, but it took me by surprise and it kind of just put me off reading because I thought I was going to get a very cozy book because of the marketing material of the book. So I think I'll keep it. I think I'll push through and try to read this book. Good. We're pretty much good for this shelf. Okay. More classics. The most beautiful edition of Dante's Inferno you have ever seen in your life. This one. So I would like to get a nicer copy of To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. I love this book. It's so good. Actually, I think we have one hiding back here. Maybe this is the only one I'm gonna donate from these 2 shelves. Published in 2021. I read this after I read House in the Cerulean Sea. I loved House in the Cerulean Sea. This book, however, was really just middle of the road for me. It did not have the charm and magic and vulnerability that I loved in House in the Cerulean Sea. I will probably donate this book. Oh, this is tough. On to the next set of shelves. I did just go ahead and set up the camera and then I started looking at all of these books and I don't think there's actually anything here I want to donate. I would consider, okay, so as I said, my bookshelves are currently a mess. We've got Sylvia Plath sitting with the Japanese literature. Nobody saw that. Oh god. None of my tea got on the books, thankfully. Just all over my desk. Anyway, I would consider donating this bad boy, which is There's No Such Thing as an Easy Job by Kikuko Tsumura. I think I'll keep it for now. It's definitely on the chopping block. It can fit back here, back with the second tier books. Non-fiction, mostly poetry, Japanese fiction, books in Japanese, and some Japanese non-fiction. And then down here I have my like children's picture books. They're fine. They're definitely not being touched. Okay, this was a failure. There's definitely books from these two shelves that I can donate. Where will they be? Oh, actually, so Tashani Doshi's Girls Are Coming Out of the Woods. I might read some of this today, so I'll go put this in the pile with the other books. Beloved children's books and fantasy books. I'm also about to start reading Remains of the Day by Kazuo Ishiguro, and I've been about to start reading this book for like a year and 2 months. I think I bought this on my birthday last year. I swear I will read it soon. I know I'll love it. Is there anything behind here? Is there anything behind here? Oh! No, nothing I can donate. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is actually a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. I thought I had more books that I was happy to part ways with. There's definitely a book in here somewhere because I know the book I'm looking for. Ellie Paddington. Where is it? Haha! You remember this guy? I will happily donate this book. Okay, this book. I think this is the last book that I knew I definitively wanted to donate. See, as I told you, the shelves are a mess. We've got Dan Brown next to Lee Bardugo, next to Lemony Snicket. I think we're gonna donate 3 of these books. My first official DNF of the year. I got this book because a book reviewer that I followed for a really long time adored this book. She said really, really amazing things about it. Picked it up and the voice just, I didn't vibe with it. It felt like, how do I explain this? It was like a really commercial, whimsical leaning voice, but it was, almost like saccharine in how sweet it was. And I can kind of see how, like, if you read The House in the Cerulean Sea, which I think is back over on that shelf over there, I can see how you could pick up that book and think that it was saccharine, think that it was too sweet and a bit twee and not really connect with it. But what I love about The House in the Cerulean Sea is that it feels very honest and very vulnerable, and I really like the character of Linus. The voice between these two books, and it's quite similar with The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, kind of have that same sort of voice. It's the commercial fiction, magical leaning voice, which is just really, really commercial. I'm trying to find a way to describe it that doesn't come across as unnecessarily critical. I got like 5 chapters into this, nothing was grabbing me. Read Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. It was kind of middle of the road, not super memorable to me personally, so I'm gonna donate that one as well. And then It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, which I made a whole video about. Probably gonna be the most divisive video I've ever made. Have you done a proper SWOT analysis? Have you done any of these basic business things that you should do before you start a business? He seems like a bad guy. Uncomfy at the moment. Oh. I was really proud of that video that I made. I was given this by a friend because she wanted me to read it. She is absolutely happy for me to donate this and send it on. It's leaving my house. And then in terms of what I might read today, because I have this stack of books that I can pick from, I'm not allowed to go to the bookstore and get a new book. I have to finish something I'm already reading. So I'm gonna bring the selected poems of Emily Dickinson with me. I'm also gonna bring The Idiot by Elif Batuman. And also, because it's small, I'll just fit it in. I'll bring Girls Are Coming Out of the Woods by Tashani Doshi, because I think the Botanic Gardens would be a lovely place to read this. So I've got those 3 to bring with me. However, before I head off to Oxfam Bookshop to donate these guys, I just wanted to thank the sponsor of this video, which is Day One Journal. Day One is a fabulous journaling app which makes it super easy to categorize your thoughts, take a few moments for mindfulness, and document just about anything you'd like, from fitness to travel to food to your daily life and beyond. I've been using Day One for a while now, and it's been so good with helping me to consolidate my thoughts, to reflect, and also to track the progress of Project Teacup, which is the novel I'm currently working on. You guys will know that being in the middle of this big creative project has properly frazzled my brain, so using Day One Journal has been great in smoothing out all of that stress and giving me time to reflect on the project as it's happening. I mentioned last time that I've been using Day One to track the stats of my writing sessions, my word counts, where I am in the story, this important information. And it's also been really important for me in spurring me on with writing and gently encouraging me in showing me how far I've come on this really big project. Because I have a premium account, it means I can separate out my journals, so I have a spot for all of my personal reflections, and then I have a spot for where I'm archiving the journey of writing Project Teacup. I love that also with a premium account, I can upload as many photos as I like. It means that I'm creating this lovely digital scrapbook of my life and this writing journey with my book. And all around for me, it's been a really beneficial addition to my writing process and also to my wind down routine after I finish work. It helps me to de-stress. If you'd like to take your journaling and reflections to the next level, please go to dayoneapp.com/ChristyNJones and use the code ChristyNJones to get a 2-month free trial of Day One Journal Premium. Okay, let's finish this tea and we can go. So in a hilarious turn of events, the tree I came all the way here to see, this ginkgo tree, it's autumn and it's still green. I took this video maybe a couple years ago underneath this ginkgo tree because I love it to bits. It's a very, very big old ginkgo tree. We don't have very many here. Beautiful and yellow and gorgeous, and so I wanted to take another photo underneath the tree. However, did not go to plan. Anyway, let's go find a place to sit and do some reading. I got some sushi on the way. Just past Coles on my way to get sushi. Got some free chocolate. They were handing out chocolate. So I am overall quite pleased about that. But let's go find somewhere to sit. I can eat my sushi. I'm very excited. Right, let's eat lunch. So I got sushi. It was beautifully presented. Now it's a bit mushed because it went sideways in my bag. And I think I'm gonna start by reading Girls Are Coming Out of the Woods. It very much fits the vibe. I am surrounded by plants right now and birds, which is beautiful. I will eat my sushi, read my poetry. I love the sound of birds. There is a bin chicken, an ibis, just pecking over there, just enjoying her day. I actually forgot to share my thoughts on Girls Are Coming Out of the Woods by Tashani Doshi, so I thought I would jump in and do that here. I really enjoyed it. It had some beautiful lines, lovely natural imagery, lots of imagery on the body, and a lot of things that I liked about it. My favorite poem was A Fable for the 21st Century, which was this interesting exploration of the things that we worship, and the line at the beginning of the poem is a quote by Iam Kieran, which is existing is plagiarism. And then of course I picked back up The Idiot by Elif Batuman. This book kind of feels like a less bleak version of Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. It's very much a college novel. It's slow, it's meandering, it feels like you're experiencing this first year of college with Selin, who is this character who doesn't really know what she's doing. She feels like a failed writer. She was very smart in high school, but she's come to Harvard and all of a sudden she's quite ordinary. There's a lot of subtext with her character because she doesn't seem super duper emotionally intelligent, but it's really fascinating to see her psychology and to see the way that she perceives the world. I'm now up to page 113 on The Idiot, which I'm really enjoying so far. It's about this young woman who goes to Harvard. The book is written in the first person and it has this really funny, kind of dry and sarcastic humor. Like when I was reading through reviews of this book, I saw that it was a bit divisive in that people really, really loved it or really hated it. And I can see how some people might not vibe with the humor here. But there are so many moments where I've audibly laughed reading this book, and the voice of it is kind of similar to the voice of something that I'm trying to develop for a different project. And so it's kind of fun to stumble across this voice that's quite funny and sarcastic and a little bit absurd, because as I said, I'm working on a story which has a voice that's a little bit similar to this. Not identical, because obviously the voice of the story is American and very specific to this character whose name is Selin. But yeah, I've loved this. It's so funny. I'm really enjoying it. I'm kind of finding that towards the 100-page mark, the story's starting to drag just a little bit, so hopefully the plot picks up a bit. I'm going to go for a nice, lovely walk through these gardens and then I'm going to head home. I am home now and I thought I would fill you guys in on some of my recent reads, how my reading has been going. As I said, I'm about 100 pages into The Idiot by Elif Batuman. Also currently like 2 chapters into Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, which is what we're currently reading with our book club over on Patreon, and I'm so excited because one of my best friends has been on me to read this book for years. She knows I love the 1920s, she knows I love Gothic literature, she knows I'm gonna like this book. I sort of found that when I'm in the intense phase of drafting and editing a book like I am on Project Teacup, it gets harder and harder for me to make time for reading and also just have the brain space for reading. I kind of find that, you know, when I'm going on a walk to have a break in the middle of the day, I just want to listen to nothing, or I want to listen to music. I'll listen to the same band over and over and over and over again, but I don't really feel like consuming anything new. So my reading has been slower this year than it has been in previous years. Whatever that book was that I donated earlier, that I really didn't vibe with that, and that kind of threw off my reading. And then I read Iron Flame, the second Fourth Wing book, and oh my god, I wish it had have been more like the first book. I did not vibe with it. I thought that everything fun and interesting about the first Fourth Wing book just wasn't there really at all for Iron Flame, and it's a big book, and I probably should have DNF'd it. I probably would have read like 2 or 3 more books now if I had have DNF'd Iron Flame, but I wanted to push through. I was like, maybe something interesting and cool would happen, but unfortunately that one kind of let me down. I think I gave it 2 stars actually, which is quite harsh for me. Normally I don't give books that I've finished 2 stars because normally I would DNF them before I gave them 2 stars, but I think I was that frustrated that like Iron Flame didn't really have any of the joy that Fourth Wing seemed to have. Like the world building, characterization, there are a whole bunch of things that I personally didn't gel with. The silver lining though is Parable of the Sower, which I read last month, which is so far my second favorite thing I've read this year. So I'm now gonna go read a little bit of Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This is a very, very fragmented reading vlog. I'm bouncing around to a lot of things, and it's just kind of how I've been reading at the moment. I need to actually get through Rebecca at kind of a timely pace because of course for our book club, I need to review it and discuss it and critique it and all of this stuff. So I need to film a video before the end of this month on that book. Which helps my motivation to finish reading it. The book club has been amazing for me because even when, you know, I've kind of been in a few different reading slumps this year, I'm still reading because of the book club, and I'm so grateful to the book club because of that. So I'm gonna go read Rebecca for a little bit. I have the ebook. I'm all done with my kind of haphazard day of reading today. I suppose this was probably a really realistic look at how I'm reading at the moment. I'm reading in little snatches, I'm reading for joy mostly. I'm not reading the same volume of books that I used to read, and I'm really excited to be finished with draft 6 of Project Teacup. I am so close, you guys. I'm gonna bring you a vlog very soon of me hopefully finishing that. I'm not finished yet, but I'm really, really close. Looking forward to having the bandwidth again to like make more reading vlogs, make more analytical and interesting and higher effort reading content for you guys, because it's been a little while. I've just been so frazzled with the book, and I am totally at peace with that. That's how my brain is working at the moment, and that is okay. I'm really enjoying Rebecca. It has a really cool gothic voice, beautifully written so far. Really enjoying it. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of laid back, cozy reading vlog. Massive thank you to Day One Journal for sponsoring this video. Don't forget that you can get 2 months of Day One Journal Premium if you use my code ChristyAnnJones and head to dayone.com/ChristyAnnJones. And also I wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone over on Patreon for supporting my channel. Of course, over there we have a whole bunch of bonus content, bonus videos. I make videos for Patreon as well as for YouTube, and so film bespoke content. So we did a writing video last week. We have our Discord server and writing snippets and so many little things over on Patreon. So if you want bonus content from me, or if you want to support the work that I do here, please feel free to go to Patreon. Take care everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.